Welcome back. So in my last episode, I got to the point where I was fighting the second phase, Innocence, I guess, and I just could not beat him. I came close the first time. I got him to just under kind of 33% health, but then when he killed me, he stayed in that phase where he seemed to like spawn his fireballs and these things, and his life just went back up, and I just wasn't able to get him back down, and I kept dying, and I was getting more and more flustered, and I was getting frustrated with the build. And ultimately, there's a couple of conclusions that I've come to. I mean, number one is that, maybe Arc just isn't as viable as I thought, or I'm not able to see it through with my skill, right? This is a possibility, but I do have a plan to try again here. Number two, I dropped faster projectiles yesterday. I had also dropped, it was either yesterday or the day before, I dropped a unique dagger. All right, so I was thinking about back to the skill that was actually making me want to play Arc in the first place, which was Cobra Lash, right? So I had leveled up a mule to get Lightning Trap, which turned out Lightning Trap wasn't helping too much. But that mule, I thought, well, maybe I could, just do a playthrough with Cobra Lash, which is like Arc. I had deleted the mule, however, like just yesterday, just before that all happened. I thought, oh, I won't need this anymore. So what I have done in the meantime is I did bring up another character back up to the same spot. I went right to Mervale's Waypoint, skipping Fairgraves, just so that I'm really in the same spot, so that I could continue to play through that character. And this is a legitimate way that I would play Ruthless usually, is that, I might pivot from one character to another, usually because I find something that is exciting, but it could be also that this character just doesn't feel strong enough yet, and I'm hoping I'm going to try and play another character, and maybe something will drop in the meantime on that character that might help this first one, right? So kind of going back and forth between multiple characters is something that I enjoy doing. So that's a possibility too. But before I do that, what I kind of thought about, I was trying to reflect on this, and I thought that, something that might help me is Decoy Totem. Right, because then that could focus Innocence's attention on the totem while I'm able to deal some damage. So I leveled a Scion up off camera here. I leveled a Scion up to level 5 or whatever. I got to the Cavern's Waypoint, and was able to get Decoy Totem, right? And now I've equipped it on this character. I've also upgraded my flasks to Sacred Flasks. I had the ones that were only giving 840 or whatever life, and now these are up to 1200, so these are a little bit better. Arc leveled up once while I was doing all of this, so now my Arc skill, hold on a second. Is it right up here? So it's up to level 9 now, so that's always helpful. I just dropped even a better flask here, so now these can start dropping, and the 1990 life would be very helpful. And because I leveled up, I was able to apply my points to my tree, and I just put them both in here. I put life and energy shield, and life and energy shield. So this gives me an extra 15% life, some more energy shield, and a little bit of chaos resistance. So I'm a bit stronger than I was, and I'm hoping with the Decoy Totem I can distract him long enough to at least beat him and get past this bit of a hurdle. So let's give it a try.
The world must be cleansed of impurity.
So my Decoy Totem doesn't last very long, but he is going for it, which is good.
I am the Emperor.
All right, so let's see if this same strategy works with Innocence 2 here.
Innocence. I am the storm. I am the torch.
Alright, so... You know, up to here was going well yesterday too. So, it's still too early to tell, but this might help. The totem's not lasting very long. It's only like level 4 or something. I don't have a lot of strength, and it's based on strength. So I think I could probably level it up one more time, but then I'm kind of stuck where I better make sure I'm wearing that amulet with strength on it. So I did read about this a little bit. I was wondering what was applying that debuff, and I think it's that torch that does it. And apparently it kind of works like Scorching Ray, and I'm not familiar with that skill. I mean, that was just a one-shot. There's nothing I could do there. Other than have seen it coming, and I didn't see that coming, so... Alright, let's see. Yeah, he takes care of my decoy totem, like, immediately.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Ooh. Alright, so now we're back to this, kind of the last phase. Once he comes out of this, if I can kill him, then it's over. But this is exactly where I got to, and I died, and then he kind of goes back, and now he's got the orbs that I find difficult to dodge. I don't know. We'll see. It's worth a try, right? Alright, these things. Gotta avoid them. Fuck! Fuck! See, that's why, like, I've never... I don't know if it's Eater of Worlds or whoever does the orbs that kind of go through and you have to dodge them. I've never been able to do that. Not very good. What it told me online is that a good strategy is to hide behind the statue, but I haven't seen him rise the statue up. I don't think I could get behind there. There we go. I just gotta take it slow. Here we go. Fuck! Like, I can't get behind these statues, so... I remember he used to, like get the statue moving and stuff, right? I haven't seen that happen. And it used to be that you could hide behind the statue, too, during the beam. knew that was coming, but I couldn't dodge out of there in time. Alright, so the decoy totem isn't helping very much because he like wipes it out as soon as I put it on the screen. Alright, it doesn't last. Yeah, this is definitely the most dangerous phase. And unfortunately, if you die in it, he just stays in this phase. Alright, now I have to watch for his slam. Oh, we're back to this thing again. There's the slam, that's good. Alright, here's these. Oh my gosh. I have no life blast left. I didn't anticipate that. Alright, I can't even heal through this. See, when he says rise, that should get the statue up, I thought. with no life blast left. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, they did go up again. I didn't even see when that happened. Must have been when I killed him.
You and only you, I shall save.
Wow.
I am sin.
Well, I have a new...
Conquered one god already.
I don't want to call it respect for that fight, but I fear it more now when I'm playing a weak character. Okay, well, we got past that part. This is good.
You've destroyed him, and yet
So I'll go through the torch courts, get out of here, and then go across the courtyard, get the waypoint,
I like it.
get down to the reliquary, and then go into the...
When I'm ready and not
forget what it's called. The spot where you get the banner that you have to bring to Kitaba. So really with that fight, Decoy Totem is what made me decide to take it on again. But it didn't turn out, it was helpful in the earlier phases, when he was still, I forget who are the first phases before it turns into Innocence. But the Innocence was just destroying it as soon as I put it on the ground. It wasn't really helping. But it got me back in there, and that's the point. And then the enhanced life flasks, you know, even Arc being up a level helped, having the extra 15% life. Okay, yeah, sword, very nice. Don't tend to trade it or anything, but that can be to re-roll something. It's rare. Yeah, so the extra life, the little bit there, and then at the very end, it was really just learning the fight and learning how to avoid his damage, right? So I'm not very good at trying to avoid those balls. I did okay sometimes where I was able to avoid them, and thank God, because I ran out of flasks. But it was also kind of avoiding his beam, realizing that his beam puts that debuff on you that does make you take extra damage over time. So I think if you've been affected by the beam, and I'm not certain if this is how it works, this is how I think it works. If you've been affected by the beam and you're still under its debuff, if you then take additional damage, I think it does some damage over time or something, because yesterday I kept like ticking down when I didn't see anything on me. But the only thing that I could see that made any sense was when I read about that kind of scorching ray type thing, which I'm not familiar with the skill. So whatever the case was, that wasn't happening as much. Avoid that damage, avoid his slam, which comes real quick.
Choose what you wish.
So yeah, just learning the fight a bit better helped. But usually, like, I don't know, I've played a lot of, you know, minion builds or that type of thing, where you go in there and you just overwhelm him with stuff, and then he goes into his phase where he goes invulnerable and calls all his ads. Oh my. And you know what this is? Like, this is the Mirage mechanic. Like, it throws too many fucking enemies on the screen. Like, every frickin' enemy is lightning and shock resistant, man. Like, get out of here. If I try to just move past this enemy, he just follows me and stabs me and hinders me so I can't walk. Like, it's... Like, I'm almost out of life flasks by, like, facing a frickin' rare enemy and just regular... Like, it's crazy, man. I really don't like Arc. I don't find it strong. I might not like electric skills in general unless you're OP, because there's too many enemies that are resistant to it. You know, and I've played Fire, and, you know, even with the enemies, I guess, being resistant, it hasn't felt as bad as this. Like, this is not good. So I don't know. The more I play it, the more I'm souring on Arc. The more I do not like it. The more I think it's terrible for Ruthless. You know. I mean, if you've made it work, if you can make it work, let me know what might make it better. But given what I have, I don't have any supports really for it. I you know, it's, I don't know. It's not very good.
You deserve recognition.
Another one of
Once
these.
Kitava has gobbled up for freedom.
We're glad you made. Lani's told. Innocence blesses your journey.
Freedom comes to those who fight.
Got things that I don't even think I meant to pick up. Boots without movement speed.
For freedom.
One thing I will do is I will equip this better flask. Oh yeah, on my way back to the Innocence Chamber, this dropped to Dread Banner. Again, it won't help this build, but just something else that dropped. So I got my second uncarved gemstone there now. Yeah, so Decoy Totem is level 5 right now. I don't know. It's not doing too well, to be honest. I'm gonna switch this back. I'll still keep it in my bar for now, just in case I need to resort to it, but I leveled up. No. Alright, so let's go back here. I don't go to the ossuary first because once you pick up the banner, it stays in your inventory until you plant it in Kitava's zone, so I just find that it just takes up room in the inventory. So I will go down and do the reliquary first. Well, I'll kill Utala along the way. Hopefully. I don't find him usually to be very challenging. I might be surprised with this build, I'll tell you.
When I'm ready and not before.
The 10-second cooldown on the movement skill. I was lucky that I got out of there before those effects went off. There's a lot of enemies. I'm not really interested. This guy's not lightning resistant because I was actually doing damage to him. That's nice. But if you go down to this side of the arena down here, we're in a courtyard right now. Big courtyard, and so you kind of go down to this edge of it. And there's this little area here. This will take you to Utala. We'll talk some trash and start hurling some, I don't know, fireballs or saws or whatever. I think they're fireballs that he hurls at you.
Did you think our vengeance was done, Savior? Oh no, it has only begun.
Alright, even with this build, he's not that bad.
You took that from me. Now you will join the pyre.
Activity just raised up a level. The reliquary is right down here. So in Act 10, this is one of my favorite zones to farm in Ruthless because there's a lot of like little chests and lots of enemies, right? And when you're trying to get, you know, support gems and whatnot, like just being able to pop chests and things is helpful, right? So sometimes that's where the thing will drop out of. So, and it's right before map, so it's a high level area, and you can get like whatever the tier 1 maps can drop. So you can potentially get maps, get gems, and you don't have to waste maps to do it. So I would generally run this area for a little bit. This season, I found that, I think by the time I finally went into maps on my first character, I think I had 23 tier 1 maps or something. Like quite a few had dropped. So I don't know if I was just lucky. Right, and then with the weight, like once I got into maps, like they were dropping too, so I was finding map sustain. I mean, for the earlier maps, I haven't gotten past tier 5, so I can't speak to anything beyond that. But the sustain seems a lot better. I've had other seasons where I get to maps, I have 3 maps, I use them, and not another map drops, right? And then I'm like, well, okay. I know every time you kill Katava, in Act 10, he will drop a tier 1 map as well. So you can always just kind of farm him to get the maps too. But that was like the only thing I could do because I was not getting very many maps to drop. But this season I find it to be a bit different. So that's also why I would farm the Reliquary in Act 10 too, because I didn't have a lot of maps. When you have a lot of maps, like, it might not be necessary. But it's an option. If you don't have a lot of maps, this is a pretty decent area to farm. This one and the ossuary, or whatever it is in Act 10, you go down to the kind of the basement of the ossuary. He's got extra life. He's not resistant to lightning, but he's quite tanky. Yeah, but I'm still thinking about also playing the Corbelash character because, you know, I got, number one, I got the whatever faster projectile support, which can help that. I've got precision because when I'd taken the mule up before, I got that, so that's helpful. The second character that I just brought back up to replace the mule that I deleted, I actually took clarity that time because I knew that I already had precision. So, you know, and the vitality, I could still potentially leverage too, because I didn't ever level it up very high because I didn't have a lot of strength on this character here. So, I don't know, we'll see. I like the idea of playing him. I do have another character on the go where I was playing where I was kind of getting a feel for Corbelash, and I forget what it's in. If it's in, it's not in hardcore. I must be in my Ruthless solo self-found, like kind of division or whatever, right? But what I found was some unique daggers, and I thought that would be fun to I found 2 of the same one that like do something like 100 to 300 damage. So they do decent damage, but they reduce your attack speed. But I have the increased attack speed gem, or increased projectiles. So I thought that's, and there's something on the tree too. We can get 50% increased projectile speed. So I thought that might be okay. You can't equip them until level 64, and I think that character is level 50 something. I got to Act 6 in it, but I built him with crits and power charges and things, and I found that was doing and with precision. And one thing you have with a physical build like that, I mean, I've converted all damage to chaos, but it still scales off of physical damage first as well, is that when you upgrade your weapon, you get a big boost in damage, right? And if you can roll like some, you know, flat fizz on it, plus some increased fizz, you know, and you can do 2 claws or 2 daggers. I was doing daggers just because I'd found those unique daggers. But that's one way that if you're feeling a bit weak, as soon as you get to that next level, wherever the next base dagger or claw drops, and then you could potentially roll it with you know, an alchemy or with an essence, more likely is what I would do. And hope that something good appears on it, and then that's one good way to kind of increase your power. And you don't have that option when you're dealing with a spell like Arc. You just have to level up the gem, and in Ruthless the gems don't level as quick as in the regular game, I don't think, anyway. It feels muted to me. But because I've already played that character, it really didn't feel too bad, and I wasn't using a lot of uniques up there. I did have the something that had dropped earlier was the whatever critical increased chance to critical strike gem, which gives you a plus 2% to your base crit chance. So if you did 8% crit chance, it brings you right up to 10 before you start factoring on all of the percentages that, you know, if you throw another 500% chance to crit on that 10. Right, you're getting 50 or 60 or whatever, but and with that gem, just because it dropped, and I thought, like, you know, so I also had controlled destruction on that character, not on that character, on that account, but I wouldn't equip it because it reduces your crit, and I was focusing on crit. So controlled destruction would have given me, you know, 30% more damage or something like that. But at the cost of essentially negating your, I think you do 80% less crit damage or less crit chance or something like that. So it just didn't seem viable when I'm trying to stack crit. But anyways, I had success. I think I've got all the 3 pieces now. I'm just going to go right back to the waypoint. And I'm going to go into the vault because I picked up both those keys as well. Yeah, just in case something drops here. There's a chest and some gold piles. Sorry, treasure piles. I mean, they generally just drop gold. Look at that at the end. Okay, we got a bronze plate and a portal scroll. Alright, so we can go to the ossuary after we talk to Lonnie here. And talk to whoever the guy is at the top there.
Remember, we do this for freedom.
The High Priest is dead.
No, to be honest, I don't need any of these. Take this dagger. Okay, so I've got a couple more points here. Going down here, there's a 50% increased elemental damage, so going down here would be good. I was looking at this one here. Increased mana, okay. 10% increased effect of Arcane Surge on you per 200. 10% again. Okay, so this so that 200 mana spent, for some reason I thought that meant that that's when you obtain Arcane Surge, and I thought, like, that's a lot of mana when you don't have any support gems. Like that seems crazy, but it's just increasing the effect of it. What you actually get is Arcane Surge. It's just a 10% chance when you kill an enemy, so that's not too bad. So I will get that along the way here. So I'm just going to go down into this area of the tree, and then I think there's some more. These are life? Yeah, so I'll go down here to get these, and I'll go down and get the life as well. There's also this life over here. Because, yeah, I would like to get some more life for sure. Right, let's go to the ossuary.
Had I the time, I could raise an endless legion from these bones.
I never know exactly what direction to go, but you kind of have to walk around and come back out beside where you come in. So I went into my solo Southbound account and I was looking at my other character, Valor, but that's always nice. I was looking at my things there. I've actually got a handful of uniques, right? Like, way more than this. Granted, I played more characters on there, but I've only got 2 uniques here. I have that unique wand, and I've got the unique dagger that fell last time. And that's it. So I've definitely had better luck with uniques. I mean, they can just drop anyway. But not only have they not dropped in like regular. Now, I'm not stacking whatever increased rarity or whatever, which does help. But I think most of the uniques come from these things, and she's just not giving them to me, so. That's one of the more satisfying things, is that if you've got some uniques or whatever, that makes the leveling process on a new character a little bit easier usually. Dude, what is this? I don't know if I've mentioned the fact that I am not feeling that arc is very good. I didn't see, when I ascended, I didn't see a spot where you can spec into like tickling enemies, right? Maybe if you could make them laugh to the point that distracts them, it's kind of like its own decoy totem effect, but that's probably the only way that would help art, because this feels absolutely terrible.
The more I feel of divinity, the more I want it.
An empire is nothing.
And I'm aware that what looms before me is Katava. The first Katava is not too bad, but the problem is too, here I am, and my resists aren't even capped. I mean, my cold resist isn't even capped right now, and this is going to go down by 30%. They're all going to go down by 30% as soon as I kill Katava. So I've got... You know, I've got fire resist on this crappy armor. I've got a little bit of cold resist. I've got the life on here, and the movement speed on here. Nothing on my helmet, so that's... I'm just using the helmet for the links at this point. Yeah, my uniques, I've got nothing. I've got a single wand, and then I've got that dagger that's on the other character right now, and that's it. Which is unfortunate. I don't even have a lot of gear. Like, this hasn't been very fruitful, despite all of the things I've killed and the things I've picked. Like, there's just not a lot, unfortunately. I'm gonna get out of my jewelry. Like these dual resist rings. I'm gonna find ones. I've only got a couple of them, actually. So fire and cold and lightning. Let's throw an essence on them at least. And that's guaranteed to... That's just increased cold damage. It doesn't even give resistances on the items. So we got no additional resist. We got trash. Try the same thing on here. Nothing. So I don't know. We're about to lose a bunch of resists, and we don't really have a lot that we can do to, you know, make that better at this point.
Remember, we do this for freedom.
And I'm already level 51. And I think Katava's... What's the level? It's 44. Like, we're already over leveled. Yeah, and that's funny because I mentioned like at the beginning, you don't know what you're gonna get when you're playing Ruthless. You don't know if you're gonna you've got to kind of work with your problems and work them out. But like realistically, the way that I'd be dealing with this problem if I wasn't trying to make a video series about this, I probably would stop playing this character. That would be the first way that I deal with this. Or number two, if I wasn't willing to do that, I would be just farming, and it's boring, and I don't want to record endless episodes of me farming around Act 5, you know, over-leveling more and more in the hopes that I get some additional resists and some additional support gems and whatnot. So, I'm just going to try and move forward, and probably at some point I'm going to hit a wall again with this character, and then I'm going to pivot over to the Cobra Lash character. Which I've already tried, and despite you know, having the crit gem, I don't think that's making the build. That's adding a little bit, right? But I'm still speccing into crit on the tree, and with precision, it felt decent to play, and it felt, as long as you can keep upgrading your weapon, or weapons, because I'm dual wielding, right? Then it continues to feel good. As opposed to Arc, which strictly feels good on trash mobs. That's it. The moment you encounter something that's blue or yellow, Arc starts to not feel so good. So I think what I'm also gonna probably have to do, which is, to be honest, is what I usually do. I just wasn't thinking about it, but one of the ways that I deal with resists and Ruthless is you've got to take more resistance nodes on the tree, right? Because that's available to you. You can always unspec from them if you find good gear later, but earlier on, that's oftentimes the way that you're going to get your resists. Whoa. So why did it just get all chaotic, and why am I almost dying? Okay, to answer the second question, yes, because I'm playing Arc, but it's because of this Mirage mechanic. It just spawns 600,000 enemies. And all in all, this makes it a pain in the ass whenever you get to the part in the zone where it's here. And this guy, I'm tickling him.
What is your desire?
I'm just gonna move past it. Right, these are still the Mirage monsters. This is just the Mirage monsters on the other side of that, right? I understand it's not 100% Mirage monsters, but there's too many. There's too many, and if you're playing a weak build, like they just become a pain in the ass. It's not like, oh great, more mobs I can kill and maybe get loot. No. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to resort to the tree to get some additional resists. I'm going to have to kind of path to them, unfortunately. I should have thought of that earlier. That's on me. Alright, so let me take a look here. So I've already gotten these ones. I mean, that's just another 3 there. That's not great. I know that down here, it's 12% all resist. There's an 8% all resist. I mean, between these two nodes, that's 20% all resists, which is 60% resist, because it's, you know, all cold, fire, and lightning. And it would take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points to get there. I wanted to go and get these health nodes anyway. Or I already want to get these life nodes, so I could potentially get this and then come in down here, go through it and up this way, because I was already intending on getting these, but 6 of one, half dozen another, it's almost the same. So I don't know. I think first I'm going to try and get this one, because that'll give me the 8% resist. But yeah, I'm going to make my way towards this node here. I mean, it's giving me elemental damage plus another 10% chance to freeze, shock, and ignite, so it's actually a very good node for me. So yeah, I'll just make my way towards there. I'll start out right there, and then I can you know, go down and get this and get whatever these things were for the Arcane Surge.
Come, ravenous one. Let me devour your heart.
Alright, this might not go well either. I don't know. At least it's not hardcore, that's all I know. Ah. Oh. For reasons I don't understand, I haven't been using the flame totem too much. I think that's a good thing to put down. I was trying to use the decoy totem, but I wasn't having as much success with that. I will decoy totem over here, because there's going to be some adds that spawn in. They're a bit tanky, and I'd rather just focus my damage on this thing. Alright, that wasn't too bad.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I remember the first time that I really remember learning the Katava fight was when I first was getting to him with hardcore, and I think I leveled up a character that was the same build that I was playing in hardcore, but I leveled it up in non-hardcore just so I could kind of emulate the experience and get some practice on him. Alright, we got past that phase at least. Alright, again, I'm going to put the decoy totem up. And distract some of those other enemies. Oh, it's gone. It's down again. Because those guys hit hard. And I just want to... No. I want to focus on the heart. Alright. Alright, I think one more. mean, when I'm able to actually hit him, I'm tickling him. But his damage is going down, but the problem is he does too many things that are like devastatingly powerful. You know, and if I get slammed or whatever, or exploded, I can't survive it, but this is it. He's going to use his red beam.
The flame of hope may flicker, but it cannot be extinguished.
Alright, so we beat Katava. This is an accomplishment on this build. This might be
There is no shame.
the height of this build. Might be all downhill from
Never
here.
had to pay the price for my ambitions. Until now.
I'm Captain Lin. Time and tide wait for no man. Good tidings to you.
Yes, let's sail to
Remember,
Rayclast.
this-
Alright, so my my resists are in a sorry state now.
Don't think I'll be forgetting that time and
But-
tide wait for no man.
Soon enough, at the tree I'll be able to get at least another 20%, which will bring most of them back up.
Alchemy
It'll
and
just be
luck.
cold.
Now that until next time.
First, stay sharp.
I make my own luck.
I don't think those guys would normally be here yet. It's because I've already played characters on this account, but I think that's why they're here. I don't quite know. So like Bestor identifies things. So let's take a look at the sorry state of our resistances. So our fire resistance is really good. So 74 is actually quite nice. Our lightning is weak and our cold is terrible. And like the second and third zone of this act just has a lot of things that swarm you with cold. So that's not going to feel good at all. You know what? When I was playing my... Oh man, that's brutal. When I was playing the second shadow, to try and bring it up to the same spot where the first one had gotten to before I deleted it, this ring dropped, and I hadn't identified it yet, but I'm gonna do so now. Unfortunately, it's got literally the lowest roll for the cold resist. Yeah, and that's it. I don't care about any of the other affixes on it. I'll put it over in jewelry. So what do we got? We got fire, so that's the one that we just put there. 12% fire and cold. 13% fire and cold. This is just cold. So I could maybe... 26, that was the highest one. I could roll something onto one of these cold resists. I want that life, that's nice. Alright, let's roll this, let's see here. I don't think I want to use an elk, I've got one elk. I'll use an essence. So it gave me another 10% cold for a total of 36% cold resist on this, but unfortunately there's no other resistances on it. And that's the majority of my lightning resist there. I can't move that. I would lose 13% fire. Now my fire's at 74. That would bring it down to 61. I'm already getting 25% cold resist, so I'm kind of trading some fire resistance for some cold resistance if I do this. It's not great, but these are all a little bit better. Like 61 is still decent. 53 is a lot better than 30, whatever it was, and 42 is the same. Lightning hasn't changed. All right, this is as good as I can do now. My next skill point, I'll be able to get another 8% to all resists, so that's, you know, going to help out for sure. And like, obviously you want to be resistance capped. When you're not playing hardcore, it's not as important. Like, you might die more often, but you know, it's not absolutely essential that you cap your resistances in softcore. You don't want to be in negatives. Other than chaos, it's hard to cap chaos, but and I mean, even still, you don't want to be in negatives even for chaos. But the reality is that most of the time you will be, until you really focus on changing that. So some rare boots, there's always the possibility that they have movement speed. I know that I think throughout this whole playthrough, we found one pair of boots that has movement speed. We might have found a second pair, but I don't even think so. I think it's really just the one. But this could be an example of, you know, when you play Ruthless and get bad luck. You know, let it... you can see how bad it can get when you get no movement speed and you die to trash mobs. Granted, that one was rare, but... And I realize that I don't have to do this zone. He's a Mirage. Oh, at least another ring, that's good. He's a Mirage enemy. I am learning to resent Mirage on a weak build. On a regular build, I don't mind it at all. From the very start, I thought it was a cool mechanic. I didn't mind that there's extra mobs, and I like that you could opt to go in or not. But my perspective is quite different on this build. Yeah, so the reason I'm doing this zone, obviously I can't get Lily to trade me gems. That won't ever happen in Ruthless, but you do get the respec points. And I know that now that there's gold, and you can respec by gold, it's not as bad. But I still try to get the points. And the way to complete this zone is to kill all the enemies.
What is your desire?
If you kill all of the enemies inside of the Mirage, it also counts. But at this point, because I'd have to open up every one of those pillars, I think. Maybe not. Maybe if you just kill the enemies without opening the pillars, it would still count as successfully killing all enemies. You know what?
Choose what you wish.
Let's try it for the science. I'm going to try and not spawn any of the enemies that are kind of the purple pillars or whatever, right? I'm just going to try and kill these, like these things, right? I'm going to try and not get close enough to those to spawn them. Because technically they're not an enemy yet, I don't think. So if the objective is to kill all enemies, so if you don't spawn them, then maybe you don't have to kill them. And then this actually fulfills the the obligation for Lily that you have to clear the zone. And this guy's still he's got the same affixes. He's still spawning this dumbass lightning things. Like, come on, man. It feels terrible. One monster remains. That's... So this is what I was looking. I was looking for the astral boot cache and I couldn't see it. All right. So it says one monster remains. So if we can find that monster, yeah, clear the Twilight Strand. So there's one monster we still have to kill. This guy. There we go. Now we can talk to Lily for our reward. And we don't have to do this anymore. Yeah, that's a neat little... If it's a bug, but I'll take it. Alright, let's go talk to Lily. She should give us some respec points.
A wretched sight.
Yeah, 2.
While you be skulking about,
That's
time
not
and
bad.
tide wait for no man.
Let's go ID these boots and see if we got a second pair of movement speed boots. That would be nice.
How you going?
Not those ones, not those ones. We'll update this flask. Another 20% cold resistance ring, the bare minimum. Talk to Bestel to fill the flask. Alright, so I'm about to get a skill point, which is good, because in the next couple of zones, there's a lot of enemies that do a lot of elemental damage. Although my cold is in a better spot now.
When I'm ready, I'm not before.
Ready. Make your wish.
Yeah, there's the just run through the zone, they say. You know, don't bother killing the enemies. You'll over level that way. Just, you know, go ahead. Uh-huh.
Come here, quickly. Ah, your body has survived my... You wield the flame. Be at peace.
So I wouldn't dream of doing one of those
You did
events with this build. Wouldn't even consider it. Except for the lulls. Because I'm getting killed by whatever these things are, right? So I forget what you get for completing this quest for Bestel. Actually curious to see, because I don't know in the future if it's worth doing or not. I just always assume that, you know, unless I'm already familiar with it, that it's going to give a skill point or something. And if that's the case, then absolutely doing it's the right thing to do. But if it's just going to give like a flask or something. If I'm remembering, he might give a rare belt. That might be a different one I'm remembering, but this might be a magic belt in case it's not worth it. But I think it might be a rare belt, which is definitely worth it. Just maybe you can get some life and resist. Really, they're spawning a Mirage even in here? A lot of times they don't.
You've done well. Choose what you wish.
I don't know if they've nerfed Mirage and Ruthless. I I played a lot of it before a few patches came out, and like so far we're in Act 6. We haven't got a single one that has gems, right? We've had 2 unique ones, both of which have been weapons. There's hasn't even been a unique armor one. Whereas on my SSF one, like on my hardcore Ruthless, like I've got multiple uniques, and most of which I got from the Mirage mechanic. You know, not to mention some, you know, a lot more gems and whatnot. Like I don't know. It feels like they might have nerfed it. I mean, it could just be my luck too. I understand that that's like, you know, anecdotally, you can play and experience one thing, and then play again, experience something totally different, but nothing's actually changed. You just had good luck one time and not so good luck the other time. And good luck sometimes can make normal luck feel bad, because you start to get this like expectation that you're having good luck without knowing that it was good luck, right? So I don't know. Go back to town. Talk to Best. I think it's a belt. Yes. No, it's a magic belt. Someone at some point gives a rare belt, but it might be closer to Act 10 or something. Magic belts. I mean, I can't not take the life at this point because my belt has 81 life, and I don't want to sacrifice that.
Still composing that poem about...
So we could possibly use an augment on it to try and get a... Is it a... No, it's a suffix, right? So all resists would come as suffixes, so you can't even roll a resist on that belt. Resist on there. And other than using like an orb to roll, you can't use a crafting bench, right? So that's not even an option. Let's get 8 more all resist at least. Like I hate having to spend these 3 points. I could come down here too, and then I'm just using 2 points that are useless. The strength, just the increased damage, and the cast speed. That's not bad. And I could get the life, and then come across into here, but... Versus 1, 2. I get here quicker if I go this way. I think I get more bang for my buck if I go this way. Conflicted. Alright, I'm just gonna... Oh, I thought I had another point. Okay. In my mind, I thought, like, you know, if arc doesn't cut it, like if I get multiple lightning skills, then I can all use them together. But like the reality of it is that all like multiple lightning skills that do like no damage. So it doesn't matter. You can throw all the lightning skills at an enemy, but if each one does like, you know, a tiny amount of damage, it's not helpful. So I think in this zone, you find the Dishonored Queen, and you find Nessa in the top corner. I am absolutely not going to do the... What do you call it? This thing. Yeah, these volleys of arrows are doing cold damage where they land, and so I just want to avoid that. The cold resists are a bit better. Now, this isn't the one where you have to protect the woman, I forget her name. This is just going to be one that's going to, you know, spawn in some enemies.
Approach. Make your wish.
Alright, I mean, I might die, but there's a waypoint close by. See, I'm not trying to stabilize it. I'm trying to stay alive long enough for it to destabilize, because then at least I'll get some blood for the tree. Good, collapsed. Right, and some loot. This is exactly what I'm talking about, so it was worth it. I actually don't know if I got any blood, or whatever the tree needs. But I got a Valorp, so that was actually my plan. It wasn't that I thought that I could, I wasn't going to do the waves, that we have to protect the Chicky Poo. Didn't feel like I was strong enough to do that, but I thought if I can breach, if I could launch with the breach and then let it collapse before I encountered like a rare reach enemy, I might survive it. And something might drop. That was my train of thought. Alright, here's the Forgotten Warriors. That means the Dishonored Queen is right here. They do big damage. If I keep hiding and moving, they can't get me. Here's the Dishonored Queen here. There we go. Anessa's right up here. Go and talk to her. Ooh. Ooh.
He did this to me.
I'm gonna have to fight Tukohama.
The King of Brian, and he wants me to be. Oh God.
I feel like that's not going to go so well. Because you have to out-damage his totems. Nessa's still talking. I don't care, Nessa. You're wearing the necklace. You're turning into Mervale. You're a lost cause. I'm very sorry, but that's how it is. So one thing that I learned in this zone is that you can get a tattoo. So I played the league briefly that introduced the tattoos. I didn't get very far into it, and then I kind of forgot all about it, but when I was reading about the different things that they've kind of planted throughout the campaign, one of the things is that they did put a thing here where we can get tattoos. Which they can have different effects. Whoa. This guy seems enraged. I don't feel like... There we go, there's a tattoo. So it replaces a small dexterity passive skill with 10% chance to avoid being poisoned. Yeah, that's a strange one. Not terribly helpful, but it's interesting. It's neat that they drop, right? It's neat that in this zone on each character you can get one, which is kind of neat. Maybe you get something good, who knows. And in Ruthless, the pickings are slim, so if you do get something, it's more helpful generally than in a non-Ruthless situation. So before I fight Tukohama, I might actually go back and put on the ring. I'll take the better flask, mana flask too. I might actually go back and put on the ring that ups my fire resistance more, because he only does fire damage, I believe. I mean, he might do fire and physical, but he doesn't do cold damage, is my point. And I've got one where I reduced my fire resistance to get a little bit of cold resistance. Although I might be closer to max because I got the 8% again since then. Let's take a look. Yeah, 3-link body armor. Ideally I'd like a 4-link. I'm still rocking this 3-link hat with nothing on it, which is another place I could potentially put an essence on and try and get resists. So I got 69% fire resist. You know, bringing it up to 75. I'll try it.
Let me teach you the laws of war.
When I'm ready, I'm not cold.
So I'm not too worried about him yet. I mean, not that he couldn't hurt me for sure. But it's going to be when he goes invulnerable and all the totems come up. This beam is constantly trying to get me. I feel like I'll be kind of slow to destroy those totems. Here we go. Alright, maybe if I can... Oh my gosh, man. So this the Holy Flame totem can go to work on those totems. Just try and kite him around before he can hurt me. Oh, and I'm already out of one flask. Alright, 2 down. Alright. He's no longer invulnerable, which is good. I'm getting flame charges by these ads that are like totems and shit that I'm killing, which is good. Right, he's almost down. I might be able to do this without dying and trying it 15 times. Alright, that feels good.
Tukohama.
There's no recipe here, which there would normally be.
The soil wants for your blood no more. I am sin.
Yeah, there's no Pantheon, so you can't get Pantheon powers. Technically, I don't know if you have to kill Tukohama. It's worth it because you get a skill point anyway, even if you don't get the Pantheon power. But I think it's also, this door won't open until he's dead. I really freaking hate these guys who just stab at you like this. Oh. Alright, so the ridge here. I go back to town. Talk to Tarkley.
You've seen Nessa. You've killed her.
Yeah, you get the book of skills, so that's worth it. I'm gonna ID this stuff.
What?
Yeah, and we've been going. I didn't stop the I was so excited just to get through Act 5 there that I kept going. Alright, so we'll stop it here. No, I guess I will continue for now with Ark. Don't know how long I'll continue for, but so far he's feeling okay again. I don't know. We'll see. Once we get some of those resists on the tree, once we get some additional damage, I don't know. Maybe a support will drop. Anyways, thanks for joining me again. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.